So guys, we got a lot to talk about in this video. Deliveries, what's going on with Chinese stocks, etc. Some new policy just came out here in China that will affect Chinese stocks going forward. Here is, of course, my son playing at a new house in Hohhot, which is a 4th-tier city in China. So my wife is there visiting relatives with my kid, and there was actually a new house there. And here he is playing at that new house. Absolutely fantastic. They were able to get in with my QR code as a new owner. And here my wife was able to film what it looks like. Very big, nice new house. Of course, it is a Wednesday morning, so people are at work, so it's not that busy. But still, it's such a nice thing that no matter where you go, there's going to be a place where you can rest, where your kids can play. And basically every single big city in China, there's going to be a new house for you to rest in and sort of have a nice time, enjoy a couple of drinks, and sort of replenish, recharge. Moving on to deliveries, we can tell that from the last week of September, NIO delivered 6,100 vehicles. Pretty nice, beating Zeekr. Now, of course, XPeng beat NIO by 200 vehicles. That's also because XPeng launched the Mona MO3, very cheap sedan, and that's actually delivering some cars as well. Now, of course, the Onvo isn't on this list because Onvo only delivered about 1,000 vehicles, or roughly 800 to be exact, on the last 3 days of the month. So that wouldn't be really on this list. But you can tell NIO is still firm at number 5 spot on this list. And then next up, we actually have the luxury brand sales, and you can tell Tesla's still number 1 and NIO is down here at number 7, but still doing very well, beating out Lexus at 6,100 deliveries per week. And those are fantastic numbers, by the way. Now, moving on to last week's deliveries, NIO actually got number 3 spot with 4,500. And this is actually monumental because this was during a vacation period. Usually, when there was a vacation period, NIO's deliveries would absolutely tank. So here, NIO's taking the number 3 spot at 4,500 deliveries, which is absolutely fantastic. So NIO was able to get 10,600 deliveries in 2 weeks, with one of those weeks being a vacation period. And this does not include on-vote delivery numbers, which is just so damn good. And of course, delivering more than Zeekr, delivering more than XPeng, delivering more than Denza. Denza's at number 9 spot, delivering more than all those other guys. Number 1 spot and number 2 spot, Li Auto and Aito both have gas tanks, so that doesn't really count. Now, of course, looking at the luxury brands here in China, you can see Tesla actually only delivered 1,800 vehicles because of the vacation. So you can tell vacation does have impact on deliveries, but it's pretty nice that NIO had pretty good deliveries despite the vacation. And delivering more than Zeekr, delivering more than Volvo, delivering more than Cadillac. Lexus isn't even on this list anymore, so clearly they've blown that out of the park. So sales and deliveries still remain strong. There's so many auto shows going on, 3-4 auto shows. They're getting a lot of sales, they're getting a lot of orders. Now, Chinese equities today taking a dip by as much as 10%. Green here in China is down, red is up because the national flag color is red. So red is up, green is down here in China. So everything is taking a dip, and this was mainly because, well, this news came out late yesterday, and this was basically the government prohibiting people from borrowing money to leverage up in the stock market, making it illegal and prohibiting it, making sure that people do not borrow money from the banks and then gamble it in the stock market and lose that money and just peace out. That's what they're trying to prevent. And this, of course, spooked some people, and some people were indeed trying to borrow money to invest in the stock market to leverage themselves up. Now, that has, of course, spooked a lot of people, causing the Chinese stock market. Here is the Shanghai Stock Exchange Composite Index 0.00001 to be down by over 6%. So here you can take a look at the charts, down quite significantly. It's just a healthy pullback. a lot of people are still rushing into the stock market, and they still believe this is just a correction. I also believe this is just a correction as well. And then, some people are taking some profits. It's just a nice little minor pullback, and we should be heading off to newer highs and break above this level. So there's still a lot of optimism in the stock market. A lot of people are still selling their assets to buy into the stock market, selling homes, selling liquid assets to buy into the stock market. So it's still, a bull market, so to speak. And then, of course, with NIO stock, of course, also pulling back these days. Here in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, it's at 46.15 Hong Kong dollars. And then if you look at the Singapore Stock Exchange, all right, Singapore, it's at 5.99. So actually, doing all right at around $6. It has pulled back significantly. All right, it has pulled back significantly. And if you take a look at the charts, we're kind of approaching that hourly oversold level, right? We're approaching that hourly oversold. Anything below 30 is oversold. Anything above 30 is overbought. So back here, we were overbought when NIO stock was at like 7.6 Hong Kong dollars, clearly overbought. Now it is clearly oversold, and this just indicates that this is most likely just a healthy pullback. And where could this go from the Singapore stock market? If we do a 50% pullback, that's going to give us like 5.73, and I do not expect NIO to go below 5. All right, so NIO stock in the Singapore market probably stop at 5.73, lowest 5.25. Those would be like healthy pullbacks. Anything below that, that means the bull run is over. So just take a look at that, 5.25, and maybe set your stop at like maybe below 5, 4.99 perhaps. Not financial advice, of course. And then if you take a look at NIO on the U.S. stock market, okay, the U.S. stock market actually doing a lot better than the Singapore stock market. Quite interesting, because it's at 6.25 yesterday. We were down 8%. We were actually down more than that. We were down like 13%, but then we went to only minus 8%. Right now, pre-market, we're at 6. So sort of following the Singapore stock market, but similar story here. If you look at the fib retracements, okay, I do not expect NIO stock to go below 5.19 here on the U.S. stock exchange. That would be the maximum pullback. Like probably minimum pullback is 6.16, which we've already gotten. All right, that's the minimum pullback. The middle pullback is here, 5.68. So we could bounce from any one of these levels, and I am expecting it to bounce. This is still in a bull trend. All right, it's not over. So maybe buy a little here, buy a little here, buy a little here, buy more here. Set your stop loss below 5, and that would be, pretty good strategy. Not financial advice, of course. So, of course, this is just a healthy pullback. I'm not worried about this at all. I've seen some people on my Discord saying they're regretting buying NIO stock. Unless you're in short-term calls, which I wouldn't recommend, you should be good for the long term. And of course, my personal expectations is this year, right, and early next year, before January, around January, February, that would probably be the last time we ever see NIO in the single digits. After that, we'll probably be in double digits and higher, simply because deliveries are going to reach a new level, all right, 30,000 plus, maybe even up to 40,000, all right, by that time of the year, because of Envo ramping up. So just that's just my opinion. Of course, you do what you want to do. We are still doing good, all right? We're just doing a healthy pullback. Everything's normal, and we are going to explode later on, all right? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.